Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about those little nuisances that ruin an otherwise beautiful green yard. Yes, I'm talking about weeds. And today we're going to talk a little bit about how to identify those weeds, how to pick the right weed killer, and then number 3, how to apply that weed killer to take care of those problems. So let's go. So when it comes to treating weeds in your yard, the first thing you want to do is identify the weeds that you have. So there's all sorts of different weeds. Some weed killers will kill all of them basically, but some will work better on certain types of weeds more so than others. So the first thing you're going to want to do is come out here. Look, I got 3 different weeds right here, but I found the easiest thing to do is you come out here, kind of clear away some of the grass. And what you're going to want to do is take a nice clear picture of the weed, and probably at some point you might need to take a picture of the root as well. But you just take this picture of this weed and you get on your phone or your computer, go over to ChatGPT, let AI do what it was born to do, and analyze the picture and tell you what sort of weed it is. Another thing to look at is how the weed spreads. Do you find different weeds in different parts of the yard and you found vines going underneath the ground that connect them, or are they spreading vertically? Are they going straight up? Are they moving horizontally? Some of those characteristics will be things that you'll need to identify the weed properly. All right, guys, welcome to my inside office where I'm going to show you how to get on ChatGPT and look at the weeds you found in your lawn, find out what kind of weeds those are, and then also what type of herbicide to get to take care of them. So I'm on my computer. You can do this on your phone. So it's just a little bit easier if I do this on my desktop. So the first thing we're going to do is head on over to ChatGPT. It's just chatgpt.com. You can set up a free account on here. If you have a paid account, even better. One thing to note on the free account is with images, you have a limit of how many images you can put on here. So if you found like 20 weeds, you might have to do like 3 one day, 3 the next. I don't think you need to do that. Just take 3 different weeds, 3 to 5. Do this. Make sure you have a good understanding of what types of weeds are in your yard. That'll help you make a good choice on the herbicide that you use. So here, what I'm going to do is, put a really specific prompt. No, I'm just kidding. Things don't always have to be so hard. Literally, all you have to say is, what kind of weed is this in my lawn? And it's going to prompt you to put in a photo. So we're going to put in a photo of that first one that I found, enter, and it's going to come back and just tell us what it is. So it says this looks like crabgrass. It is. It gives some key identifiers. I mean, you can learn some stuff here. I didn't ask it to give me this, but it is also a little bit nice. All right, let's try the next one. What about this one? And it should prompt me to, oh yeah, where's the photo? Okay, here it is. We'll put this one in, send it over. Again, this is, I believe, broadleaf. So it looks like broadleaf. And then let's pick one more. Okay, I have one more I need help identifying. All right, we'll do this last one, see what it gives us. This is Spurge. I know that just because we get it all the time. Yep, this one is Spurge. Okay, so it identified it. Again, the key identifiers. And now last thing, let's just look at the control tips that it gives us. So you can hand pull up, and then there's also this post-emergent broadleaf herbicide, right? So basically one that kills broadleaf. We'll go up here and look at the other one that we did. A broadleaf weed killer will take care of patches. We are also going to want one that has a crabgrass prevention on there. You will notice when you go to buy herbicides, a lot of them leave out crabgrass. So make sure you find one that has crabgrass control in it. For our project today, I'm going to use one that is commonly found at the big box stores. It's an Outtro product. It's called Weed B Gone with crabgrass control. And again, I'll put links down below for anything that I've used in this project that you can use on yours as well. For today's treatment, there's really only 4 things that I'm going to need. Number 1, I'm a sucker for safety, a face mask, something to cover your mouth so you don't inhale the poison that comes out of the weed killer. Number 2, safety goggles, again, protect your eyes. Number 3, a spot weed killer, one that doesn't hurt your grass but will kill the weeds. I'll include links in the description below for any that I use. Right now I'm using an Outtro product that has a little wand that I can just spray the individual leaves. I'm going to show you that next. Number 4, some garden gloves, again, to protect your hands in case any of the chemicals get on them. And before we get out there, just a couple other things to remember. When you apply weed killer like this, you want to do it before temperatures get too hot. They say below 90 degrees. So go and do it in the morning or the evening, not during the heat of the day. Number 2, you don't want to apply this right after you've watered your lawn. You should water at least a day before you apply it. What you don't want to do is put the weed killer on, then run your sprinklers and it just wipe all the weed killer off the plant. That's not very effective. So wait a little bit once you've run your sprinklers, and then once you apply this, wait at least 24 hours hours to run your sprinklers to give the weed killer enough time to go down and kill the roots. And for obvious reasons, keep any pets or kids away while you apply. Probably keep them off for that 24 hours that you're waiting to water. And then lastly, while these products do work pretty good on most broadleaf and crabgrasses, if you have any really tough weeds that are just hard to get rid of, you may have to come back and apply a second time. It says to wait about 14 days to do that. A couple things to note when applying a weed killer like this. To get it ready to go, there's basically 3 things that you have to do. Up here, there's an on-off switch right there where you turn it to off or on. So we're gonna wanna turn it to on. Number 2, you pull out the wand. You're gonna wanna extend it. Then right here, there is another lock button. So you're gonna wanna go down to, I don't know if you can see that, but we're gonna wanna move down to unlock. And then lastly, on the tip of the nozzle, there's an off button here as well. So you're gonna wanna pick the way you wanna apply it in multiple streams, a single stream, a solid stream. I usually go for something in the middle, like a double intermittent stream, just so it's not coming out super heavy. Then once you've done that, we are ready to go. All right, we've got our trusty weed killer right here, and we're moving around the yard to do some spot treatment. So one thing it says on here as well to do is when you find a weed, even though it says it's guaranteed not to kill your grass, it says to not spray your grass. So you're gonna wanna try as much as you can to just keep your spraying localized to the weed that you're spraying. But you're okay to spray the foliage of that weed on down to the root. It doesn't need to be a ton, but enough that you've just kind of covered that weed all the way around, and then you let it sit and it'll die over the course of a week or 2. So here we go. And I've already identified some of the spots that these weeds are at. Ooh, here's a nice fun one. The big ones are satisfying to kill. We've got a broadleaf. This looks like a dandelion right here. And if you're like me, if you're taking care of your yard pretty well and trying to root out the weeds when you see them, you'll notice that most of the time the weeds end up coming up near your barrier, like your cement. It's usually where your grass maybe gets cut a little bit shorter, is not quite as thick, maybe isn't getting quite as much water because of the coverage of your sprinklers. So I've found most of the time my weeds are localized to kind of this 1 to 2 feet out from my cement or barrier. Okay, now that we're done spraying, it's now time to wait. It takes about a week to start seeing those weeds die, so don't expect immediate results. It's not gonna happen overnight. Give it about 7 days, see what's turning yellow, starting to die, and then you'll know what is still alive. You may need to retreat at the 14-day mark, so we'll wait and see what happens. All right, it's been a week, so let's take a look and see how our weed killer has done on the plants that we sprayed. All right, here's one. Here's a dandelion that we sprayed. You can see it's starting to get all brown on the leaves. Starting to die. So that one worked right there. Here's another one. Here's that crabgrass, same thing. It's turning purple down to the roots. So we know that it's working. It's awesome. Another dandelion getting fried. Another one right here. All right, here's an example of one that didn't quite die. You can see there's a couple dying leaves. So this is another one I would probably apply at 14 days and give it another spray and see if I can kill that thing off. All right, that's it. If you like that video, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow our channel. And if you're worried at all about the soil health of your lawn and whether or not you have the right nutrients or if you've under-fertilized or over-fertilized, be sure to watch this video right here where we talk about how to do an at-home soil test, how easy it can be, and the steps it takes to get it done. And we'll see you on the next video.